Hello everybody, it is Paper Spyro and welcome back to Let's Play Pokémon Red. In the last part, we left off after getting our first two team members here, Avery and Soroka. Avery already having taken quite a beating just by coming up here, but we'll press on, we'll make it through. So, as long as I can actually walk through the door. So in this episode, we're going to be starting Viridian Forest, which is the next area in the game we have to go through. So now, wow, this control is already messing up. If you check the side of this tree right here, you will find an antidote! And antidotes cure poison off of your Pokemon, because there is a chance, because of the new Pokemon in this area, that you will get poisoned. You could fight quite a few of them, actually, in the last area, but, you know, we didn't. So, this is where we actually get to start with trainer fights, full-out trainer fights, because there are trainers with Pokemon. Gosh, I never would have guessed. And we kind of just fight them the same way we do any old Pokemon, except they can have multiple. Wow, I was not expecting that to be a critical hit. Avery might need to get out of here. Actually, he resists poison. Yeah, Avery should be fine. Because I don't believe poison types can be poisoned. I know they can't in other or in later generations, but I'm pretty sure they can't here. Nice critical hit thing. And as I was saying in the last episode, yes, critical hits do definitely happen way more often in this gen. And we learned Horn Attack, which is a more powerful version of Tackle. So let's not change. We'll give Avery some more experience here. And now we can do something. I did this in the last episode and I didn't talk about it. If you press select, that's not select. If you press select, you can actually move a move to a different slot. So we'll move it to... I didn't mean to select tackle. I needed to press select again. My bad. I'm trying to demo something and even I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, now we got it. So you press the select twice. And now we can actually just use it up top. Because I'm probably never going to use tackle again. Because Horn Attack is more powerful, as you can see. Let's try to kill this Caterpie before it kills us. Now, I'm going to try not to show every single trainer encounter where we'll be here for like 40 parts, because I would like to get this done before the end of the school year, but we'll see. And as you see, we actually get money from that fight. We didn't get money from any of the wild Pokemon fights that we already did. The only money we'd got before that was the, well, we started out with 3,000, then I spent 20 of it on Pokeballs, then we got 175 from Gary, and that guy just gave us 60. So that's how you get money in this game, is by actually fighting trainers. Now I'm going to skip this guy and come back and fight him a little bit later, because I'll be coming back here and fighting them all off screen. But if I do it on screen, it'll take 40 days. So I'm going to start cutting random encounters too, but we'll keep this one in because this is a new Pokemon. This Pokemon is a Kakuna. It's the evolved form of the Weedle we saw earlier, but the only thing it can do is harden, which will raise its defense. And if you want to raise one, you should probably get it as a Weedle, because then it'll know the Poison Sting attack that you saw that Weedle has. Otherwise, it's just going to know Harden, and you're going to have to sit here and struggle with it. Probably not worth it. And Metapod does have a version of it too. Let's keep on moving. Now Avery's getting just a little bit weak, so I'm actually going to go ahead and switch Soroka into the front of my party. Because I feel like Soroka could do a little... Well, no, I don't think Soroka could do a better job. But Soroka needs the experience, because he's going to be our main one for fighting this first gym with. Which is something that we'll be getting into probably later this part, because we're almost done with Viridian Forest already. Right there is another potion. And there is one more hidden item that I know of off of my memory of the countless times I've played this game. Oh, I guess I'm not going to get to finish my sentence. There's our first status effect of the game. Soroka got poisoned by Poison Sting, because now status effects can happen one of two ways, all of which are through moves, and all of them have different effects. I'm actually going to go ahead and heal this off, because I need him to be able to take care of this last trainer for me so we can get to this next city. So as you can see, antidotes cure poison. There are different items that cure different status effects, but each status effect can be caused, as I said before, one of two ways. The first way is as a secondary effect of the move, which is what you saw with Poison Sting. There's a certain percent chance on some attacks that they'll have you can get poisoned. And then there are moves that purely poison. Like, that's their sole intent, is to poison the Pokemon. Or, well, they have moves for every status effect that do that. Mine is Frozen, but we'll get into Frozen much later, because that's one of the much rarer status effects in the game. But as you can see, some moves, even regular moves, have secondary effects. Like, if you notice, Bubble lowers speed occasionally, but String Shot's only purpose is to lower speed. Yeah, see, Bubble just did it again there. And that's kind of how that works. Now, there are other status effects, as I mentioned. They all have different effects that come along with them. Poisons is that you take damage. You take a 16th of your HP in damage every battle, every turn. And you take 1 HP of damage for every 4 steps you take on the field. Circle leveled up in there. And Poison does not go away automatically. I guess I got the hidden item. The hidden item was right in front of this guy. But, because I didn't mention it, but Poison doesn't go away by default. There are some that do. Poison will never go away unless your Pokemon gets fainted, killed, whatever you want to call it. Out this door we go. And this is the second half of Route 2. It's still Route 2, the same one as below, same encounter race and everything. But moving on up here, and we're in Pewter City. So this is the first city with a gym. But there's a couple things I want to take care of first. Because there was one thing I missed. I wanted to get the experience from Viridian Forest before I did it. Because now our Pokemon are a few levels higher, and should easily be able to take care of a hidden rival battle with our good old friend Gary. Now I'll show you where that is, but I'm going to traverse through the forest and fight that trainer real quick that we skipped. So be right back. Alright, everyone. So back here in Viridian City, as I hope you remember from the first part, we came out here to the side of this route. This is Route 22, if you haven't noticed on the top of the sidebars. And I hope you're liking the sidebars, because I put quite a bit of work into them. Regardless, and by the way, again, if you should have noticed, but Avery did grow not only 1, but 2 levels. So if you come out here on this next tile, it's going to be that hidden... Yeah, there it is. That hidden rival battle that I talked about. It didn't render for a second. I was like, what? Why? But, alas, we have the rival battle. So, I have complete confidence in my Pokemon, because we're all higher level than his are. And you'll see yet another use of the sidebars, because I haven't talked about them at all yet, but I like what I'm doing to them. Now, this Pidgey, as I believe it will say, should have Sand Attack, if I remember, and I want to try to kill it before it gets too many of those off on me. Or it could just give me none at all, and give me the easy victory on this part. I probably should have actually used Squirtle there, because now he's got Bulbasaur, and Squirtle's not going to do much to Bulbasaur, but we'll leave Avery out and press my button by accident that expands the screen, and I don't want it to do that. In case you're wondering why I keep doing that, by the way, I'm playing this on the GameCube because it has the Game Boy player on the bottom, and it's a Game Boy Advance emulator, essentially. And if you play Game Boy games on the Game Boy Advance, you have the option to expand the screen to fit the entire aspect ratio. But I don't want to do that, because I'm putting sidebars off the side. So I just leave it the way it is, and I have it, and there's no select button on the GameCube controller at all. So the buttons are either assigned to L and R, which I bump frequently, or they can be assigned to X and Y. And I have them right now assigned to X and Y, but I keep bumping X and Y, so maybe I'll change them. But for now, let's leave and go back, because I jumped off the cliff by accident. Because that's it. We're good here. We're really ready to go fight the gym leader. So I'm just gonna meet you guys back up in Pewter City, because I didn't actually show you where the gym was. Okay, back here in Pewter City now. To get to the gym, you just go up and over like this, and come down around here. If my controller would stop going the complete and total opposite direction of what I want. I have a nice little gym trainer here. Every gym has at least one person in the gym that's not the leader that you can train off of that usually, and I say usually because some gyms are weird, has their type of Pokemon. This guy, on the other hand, does not. At least if I'm remembering correctly, both of his Pokemon are ground Pokemon, and the gym leader uses Rock. Regardless, ground Pokemon are still weak to Soroka's Water Gun. Or not Water Gun, Bubble. We haven't gotten Water Gun yet. Also, I should let me do this. Move Bubble up to the top. So I'll be using it a lot. Because even though I mentioned in the last part that Bubble is technically weaker than Tackle, now it's going to be doing double damage on this Diglett here, and if I remember correctly, has a Sandshrew in addition, which are both pure ground types. And Soroka gets a nice, much-needed level, and here comes the Sandshrew, as I remembered. In the later versions of the game, they did give him a Geodude, which is another new Pokemon that we'll be seeing with the gym leader fight himself. But we'll get there in just a minute, because we're almost done with this Sandshrew. As long as the stupid glitch didn't happen, which it didn't, we're all good. And Soroka grew to level 20, or not 20, 12. I wish he was level 20, but no. Now, I probably should just go and heal since we're in town, but I really don't care. So we're just gonna use. Oh wow! I thought we were having enough. Whatever, we're fine. I'm not even going to heal all the way. I'm not even going to save. We're just gonna jump right in and do this. Because as I mentioned, both rock and ground are weak to water. His Pokemon are both. He has two Pokemon and they're both rock and ground, which means they take quad damage from water. So even this low-powered bubble attack should do a lot of damage to this Geodude. And yes, it did. Because even though he's defense curling, we're using a special attack. So he's still dead. And we got an unneeded critical hit. But I'll take it. And here comes his other Pokemon, Onix. Now, this Pokemon is usually really, really defensive, but not special defensive. So as you can see, he also did a move called Bide, which will take 2 turns and absorb all the damage you get, and then pay it back double to your opponent. But it only works if you survive those 2 turns. So as you can see, even though he took 2 hits of damage, you know, the Onix fainted, so we get the Boulder Badge because we won. And we're awesome. So, yeah. He's saying the technique Flash can be used at any time, but we won't be seeing that for quite a while. And he gives us a TM of the move I just talked about, Bide. Yeah, I just... So, he just mentioned right there that the TMs can only be used once in this generation. Generations 1 through 4, they can only be used once. In Generation 5, they added the ability to reuse them an infinite amount of times. But we're not playing those generations, so we really shouldn't be caring. Now, I should actually probably stop being lazy and actually go heal. And then we're gonna take off, because I think we still have quite a few minutes. I'm not one to waste time. So I decided not to waste your time by cutting the rest of that healing expedition. Now anyway, to move on from Pewter City, because I don't have the town map to show you, you just kind of gotta come over this way here. Now, if you would have tried to come this way earlier and leave, there would have been a guy blocking you, telling you to go back and fight Brock. Now, as I mentioned, I'm gonna be fighting all of the not required trainers off screen, and we're gonna show the required ones, because you don't need to fight every single trainer here to get through. But there are some that you need to fight. Like this guy that we're fighting right now that claims he saw us in Viridian Forest. But the remakes of the Generation 1 games prove this to be not true. But anyway, we're just kind of gonna... Yeah, the Pokemon start to get a little bit stronger at this point in time, but they're nothing we can't take care of. Because we've also gotten stronger because of that gym leader battle. Soroka gained 3 whole levels here. And I think it's probably pretty close to a 4th. Yeah, there we go. Soroka grew to level 14. We're growing up so fast. Let's switch out to Avery, because Avery's fallen a little bit behind Soroka as it changed from about 3 minutes ago when Avery was like 2 levels ahead of Soroka. Nice critical, Avery. I had to pause to take a drink. I apologize. Anyway. On to another Caterpie. We'll just leave Avery out to get Avery some more of the experience. And as you can see, Horned Attack is definitely doing a lot more damage than Tackle ever would have. Yes. Can we... Nice. Avery, your criticals are rocking. So I guess I mentioned that the criticals were messed up in the last episode, but I never exactly mentioned how they were messed up in this generation. So... For whatever reason, they decided to base critical hits in this generation off of your base speed stat of your Pokemon, which every Pokemon has a set base speed. So the faster your Pokemon is, essentially, the more often you're going to be getting critical hits. Now, but where this gets really broken is with moves that have an increased critical hit ratio. Because, I mean, the critical hits already happen enough. I forget what the number is, but increased critical hit chance moves, like there's one later in the game called Slash, and we'll probably be abusing that because I can. So it takes your, when it calculates your chance, it takes your base speed and then divides it by, I forget what the original number is, maybe 250-ish or something like that. But then for increased critical hit chances, that number is 64. So there are Pokemon that have base speeds higher than 64, meaning that you will get critical hits literally every single time you used an increased critical hit move. Which is pretty fantastic. That's another move right there, Wrap, that I hate that was broken in this generation, because it takes forever. And if it does it again, you'll see the effects. I really hope we don't have to see it. Okay, we get to survive yet another battle without seeing Wrap. I just saw it pop up on screen and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want to go through that. Because they fixed it in the later generation, so it didn't keep you for like 4 years watching the same animation over and 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 over again. Anyway, what do you have, Mr. Bugcatcher with sweaty armpits? You have a Weedle. We haven't seen a million of these already. See, now this is the part of the game where it starts to just be a little bit boring, because now we're getting close to the meat of the game. I got poisoned, of course. I mean, Soroka got poisoned. I didn't get poisoned. Soroka did. But we should be getting into like the meat and potatoes of the game by now. But we're still fighting all of the same Pokemon over again. And I kind of just wish we were on to something a little bit more difficult. But I guess this is a kids game, and we're expected to be, you know, treated as such, I guess is a way to put it. Now, I'm actually going to switch out here and go to Avery because I don't want to have to take that poison damage. Because Avery can't get poisoned. And not like it matters, it's a Kakuna anyway. You know, I probably, if Avery had a special attack, it would have been good, because Harden only does physical defense. Was I on a point? I feel like I was talking about something specific and then just completely forgot about it. Oops. Anyway, Avery finally gets his well-deserved level. And we see yet another Caterpie. I guess I was talking about that, how we just see the same Pokemon over again and over again. I don't really know what I can add to that anymore, though. Caterpie has been beaten, and there's still one more. Oh, Metapod. Have we seen a Metapod yet? Either way, this is Metapod. It's Kakuna for Caterpie. That's the easiest way to describe it. It does the same exact thing, except it evolves into a different Pokemon, and we haven't gotten into any evolutions yet, but we will be shortly, because Soroka is level 14. I apologize if you can hear that. Someone has, accidentally in my text message box. Avery grows to level 14. and learns Poison Sting, which is the poison attack that we've been waiting for. But his will be more powerful than Weedle's because he is a poison type and gets the same type of attack bonus. Now, Circus poisoned. I think this is about where I'm going to call it an episode here. I'm going to go back in the off-screen, or but between the episodes and off-screen, the rest of these trainers that aren't required, and go heal Soroka. So, thank you for watching this episode of Let's Play Pokemon Red. In the next part, we'll figure out where we're going. What's at the end of this long, long path. Thank you again for watching, and see you all later.